where women's basketball will be facing Chico State at the Swamp here in beautiful San Francisco, California. San Francisco State with a 5-18 overall record. Chico State at 14-10.
It's going to be a fun game. A couple of things we got to look out for is the San Francisco State women's basketball team has 5 players.
We're going to overturn right now for the national.
All right. Let's get ready for some basketball here. San Francisco State Gators versus the Wildcat Chicos. Chico Wildcats. A couple of storylines we're looking out for. San Francisco State is playing with 5 players due to injuries, so there's going to be hopefully no foul outs, and we're going to have these girls going to be running around a lot, trying to have a lot of energy, keep it up the whole time. With only 5 players, there's no subs today.
Yeah, apparently this season, however, they've been playing with a lot of short staff all year long, so they should have well-conditioned and be ready and poised for this game.
Let's hope so. Let's hope they don't rack up too many fouls. And on the Chico side, we have a pretty incredible story with number 3, Whitney Bram. She's a guard for Chico State, and she was born with spina bifida, which is a birth defect where their spinal cord fails to develop correctly. So we'll be keeping an eye on that.
I think that's an incredible story, as she has faced a lot of hurdles through her young life and now seems to be pulling through any challenges that face her way, and being the leading scorer of the team just proves that she's up to any challenge that she has ahead of herself.
One of the star players for San Francisco State is actually Rachel Ioza. She's averaging 9 points a game, and she's averaging 5 assists per game too as well. She's getting close to she's getting close to the 6th all-time in assists for San Francisco State. She's getting really close to that record, so we'll see if she can break that record tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Her play has influenced a lot of the San Francisco State's wins this season, so she needs a good game today to break our losing streak.
The San Francisco State's losing streak right now is at 5 losses. They are 2-10 at home and 3-8 during away games. So we'll see if they can get that 3rd win at home before the season ends. Chico, on the other hand, they are 14-10 on the season, but they're only 3-6 away. So we'll see if hopefully the Gators can pull away a win when the Chico State is not very good.
Definitely.
Away.
If we start off strong, I think we could hopefully get an early lead, since we are only playing with 5 players today. So that is a key to the game, to start off strong and get an early lead.
Let's get this tip-off going.
So the ball is being tipped, and San Francisco State grabs the first possession as they quickly drive towards the basket. Ball's being passed around. Open shooter and scores. Prime Stevens with the first point of the game.
Jada Stevens is playing really well this year. She's averaging 15.8 points a game.
So Chico State is passing the ball around, looking for the open shooter. A ball thrown across the court. Open three is made.
3-point shot by Whitney Bram. She is playing extremely well this year. Did 18.3 points per game. She's also shooting 36% on 3-pointers as well, and you can see her knock down a 3-pointer there.
So the ball's being dribbled half court. SFSU State moving players around, trying to find the open shooter. Chico State's been playing very good press defense. Tough shot for SF State, and they have the first miss. Oh, wow. There's another score.
What a great layup there. Another one by Whitney Bram. That was great play.
She's already scored 4 points within the first minute. She's playing very well, off to a strong start.
All of Chico State's points so far, and that's a turnover.
Chico State with the press defense working really well as they have an open layup.
McKenna Barker, easy layup, easy layup. No one getting back on defense there.
Like I mentioned, SF State needs to keep their poise, make sure they don't turn the ball over much, and keep the game close. They do not want to play from behind the whole game. SF State's looking for the open shooter as Prime has a nice step over shot.
Oh, nice move.
In and out.
Oh, that is heartbreaking there. They needed a bucket right there to keep up with the Wildcats.
So the Wildcats again with the open jump shooter. 3.
Good break for the Gators with Whitney Bram missing there.
Yes.
She doesn't miss very
Bram
often.
Clearly is showing why she's one of the best players for the Wildcats. SF State's dribbling the ball. Amani Alexander was trying to look for an open shooter, couldn't quite find it. So now we have
Shot
Prime
clock down
Stevens,
2-1.
best player so far for SF State.
Another
Misses a
miss
tough
for-
contested shot.
Another miss for Stevens. She's got to get that in the bucket if they want to keep up.
Stevens
Good dish, good defense.
with the good defense. Way to run back on defense and stop the layup and Chico State from scoring. Here we have SF State again. Prime Stevens passes the ball.
Another
Tough
miss
mark.
down low.
Tough miss by Kaylee Pugh.
SF State doesn't want to fall back too far behind, especially with only 5 players on the roster for that.
Chico State has been doing a very good job finding the open shooter. However, the 3 was unsuccessful. Another 3 wide open, yet again with the miss. SF State's defense has been holding up pretty well. Let's see if they could have some offensive scoring to balance out their great defensive start. So here we have Amani Alexander dribbling up the court and with the turnover.
SF State has really got to keep those turnovers down today. Turning the ball over just gives Chico State such a huge advantage. They're already having to run up and down this court with just 5 players, no subs. They got to keep their energy for the rest of the game.
Let's give some credit to Chico State's defense, however. They have been pressing the offensive players very well.
Yeah,
creating turnovers.
They're creating turnovers and making SF State make mistakes. And look for SF State to make more mistakes during the game when they get more and more tired as well.
Chico State now with the ball. Seemed like that was a quick ball, but official did not call for a kick ball in that play. Here we have
another 3.
Open. And it's made again. Chico State now is leading 10-2.
Nesta Holland with the 3-pointer. She's shooting 37% on 3-pointers this year. So she's one of the leaders for Chico State in that area.
San Francisco State, open pass to Amani Alexander. Amani Alexander has been possessing the ball a lot for this first half for the San Francisco State Gators. And here we have Jaina Stevens. She stumbled down towards the floor.
Oh no, if this is another injury, this is going to be just absolutely devastating for San Francisco State. If they lose Prime Stevens, that's not only are they down to 4 players, but it's one of their best players on the team as well. It looks like she's going to
walk it off.
She's going to walk it off. She's going to walk it off. Let's sure the best. She's limping down the court, so we'll keep an eye on that as the game goes on.
She clearly seems injured, but is showing her toughness by staying in the game. So here we have the Wildcats dribbling up the court, looking for that open shooter as they have tended to shoot a lot of long-range shots to start off the first half. Here we have another 3, and it's missed by the Wildcats.
Good rebound there again. They don't want to push it too hard because they don't want to get too tired.
Yeah, I agreed. I think they need to play that half-court game to conserve their energy.
They need to score some buckets here. They They need a basket desperately.
Yes, indeed. So
5 seconds on the shot clock.
SF State's having a hard time
Gotta
finding
put one
the
up
open
here quick.
shooter,
That's
but they have
good
layup
shot.
set
Just
up,
another miss down low.
and it's air ball. Their layup was an air ball. Officials timeout.
We just want to. This is a good timeout for San Francisco State because they're going to be able to get a nice breather here, and hopefully that they're going to be able to catch their breath and not get too worn out.
Hopefully Jana Stevens' injury is not too serious.
Yeah, we'll see if they check her out. I don't see them checking her out on the bench, which is good. No trainers over there. That's a scary injury for San Francisco State. But like I said, not only will they be down to 4 players and be down a player the rest of the game, but they're going to lose their best player.
Yes.
And see if Chico State, they were putting up some points, but they've been missing a lot of baskets as well. They've missed a lot of open three-pointers, and if they make those, San Francisco State's it's gonna be almost impossible for them to even come back.
Yeah. Hopefully, like I said, they stay healthy and don't lose a player, because then with 4 players, the game seems almost out of reach. Chico State will just find the open shooter in every possession.
Miracle for them to come back.
Yeah, it'll definitely turn into a movie if they end up pulling a win with 4 players.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't write that.
So, officials' timeout's over, and Chico State will be inbounding the ball coming back from break, where Chico State has started off strong to a 8-point lead. Chico State 10 and SF State Gators at 2. Chico State's looking for that open shooter.
Madison Wong
so well.
leads Chico State in assists, so we'll see if she can keep that up. Number 4, Madison Wong.
Whitney Brown's dribbling the ball, finding open shooter, and it's missed from the baseline.
Nice rebound by Chico State there.
Another 3 shot.
3.
And it's missed yet again. SF State's getting really lucky with this.
Madison Wong is not the best three-point shooter for Chico State. She shoots 37%, which is a high percentage. She just does not take very many three-point shots. She only averages about 7 points a game.
SF State now with the ball, passing to Prime Stevens as she's trying to create some offense, but is being double-teamed. Finding the open shooter, and SF State with the score now, breaking that long drought.
Kaylee Pugh with those points there. She's going to need to step it up, especially if Prime Stevens is not at full. Going to need that extra forward down there to put some points up.
Yes, so the Wildcats deep into the key. We have a missed layup.
Good D there, good stop. Let's see if they can put some points on the board now. Take it down to a couple possession game.
State is playing very hard, and they find yet another open layup, but a tough miss.
Beautiful pass down low. Just got to have to finish there. Kaylee Pugh is going to have to finish to keep this game close.
The Wildcats with the quick offense, shooting the ball, however, missing again.
If Chico State had someone wide open underneath the hoop there. They're lucky that they did. San Francisco State is lucky that they did not see that extra pass.
So the Gators with the ball now. Working on that half-court offense. Open shot for 3, and it's a miss.
That was unfortunate. That would have been extremely big for San Francisco State.
Chico State now looking for that open shooter. They find Whitney Branham. However, she airballed.
Whitney Bram with the airball. She started off strong, but she's missed her last 3 shots. So we'll see if she can keep it up, and maybe
Lots
San Francisco
of
State
shots
can
being
keep
taken so far.
See if San Francisco State can keep in this game.
Gators continuing to find that open shooter. Chico State keeping up with their defense. However, Chico State finds a shot and a miss.
Another miss by Prime Stevens. They've missed a lot of shots down low already.
Both teams playing good defense. However, on offense, they both need to pick up the slack as they are finding open shooters, just not being able to knock down the shots. And we have another shot and a miss. But the Wildcats with a quick offensive rebound. Great drive.
Chase Stark there with the drive. Beautiful drive. When Prime Stevens was turned around, she was able to get her.
SF State now trailing by 8 with the
Great
layup
spin.
and one.
She gets to the line. Great job by Kaylee Pugh. Like I said, Kaylee Pugh is going to need to be able to score, especially if Prime Stevens is not in prime form. She's averaging. Kaylee Pugh is not the best free throw shooter out there either. She's shooting 46% from the charity line. So hopefully she can knock down this plus free basket.
So SF State now looking to make it into a 3-point session.
And she makes it.
She makes the free throw. The announcer's jinx did not quite work this time.
You're knocking on wood.
So here we have the Wildcats with the ball. Now leading by
good
5.
defense there. Didn't let that drive on the baseline go anywhere. Good job by Prime Stevens. One of the better defenders for San Francisco State.
Chico State inbounds the ball. It looks like Whitney Brainham has been subbed out for the time being.
San Francisco State
Wildcats
scored some
now.
points while
6
Whitney
seconds on
Brainham
the
was
shot
bench.
for the 3, and it's an air ball.
It would really get them back in this game. It's a good
However, the
opportunity for them.
Wildcats with the
Nice
they
drive.
get the possession
Right at the buzzer
and
for
they miss the layup.
shot clock and miss.
SF State now quickly trying to create some offense. Passes the ball. Driving the ball. Prime Stevens with the open shot from the top of the key, and it's good. SF State ending the game, the first half with a strong offensive stance.
It's now 9-12 with 25 seconds left. Looks like San Francisco State's going to get one more shot.
They can pretty much burn the clock at this point. However, driving the ball, being double teamed, open shooter for 3, and it's a miss. SF State, 10 seconds with the ball.
Prime. See if they slow it down. There's 8 seconds left.
Get one last score just before the half. Open 3, and it's good. Tying the game. The Gators.
Alexander, right before the quarter ends.
What a strong offensive
tied it up,
ending.
12-12. Great job coming back in that one. They were able to come back from a nice big deficit there on that one as well.
Yes, finally the offense is coming around for the Gators, tying the game up just before the half.
Yeah, they've been missing a lot of easy shots down low. It's nice to see them make a couple of three-pointer and be able to get those shots down low actually to go in. We'll see in this second period if they could able to come back, take the lead, which would be huge for San Francisco State to go into halftime with the lead. And they'd be able to just stop them from going anywhere, Chico State from going anywhere, and be able to rest their players a little bit and not have to push so hard coming down the court every time.
Yes, my apologies. I thought the game was between 2 halves, but apparently there's 4 quarters in this game.
Ready to come back on the court now for this second period.
So here in the second period now, we have a tie game where the Wildcats start off strong, making some long-range shots. However, SF State.
Whitney Bram, Chico State's best player, is still on the bench here, though.
The Wildcats looking to see if they could bounce back from the Gators'
three-point shot
run. Wildcats with a miss. Here's another open 3.
Another missed three-point shot.
The Wildcats have been doing a really good job with offensive rebounds.
Yeah, but they're missing. It means they're missing a lot of open three-pointers. They've been getting plenty of opportunity out on that arc, but they've not been able to make too many of them.
Wildcats inbounding the ball, passing in towards the top of the key. Open shot, and it's good.
Number 33, Hannah Washington, with that bucket from the free throw line.
Yes,
putting the lead up to 2 points for Chico State.
San Francisco State now looking to continue their strong offensive finish from the first period.
Foul.
And that was a good drive by Manny Alexander before being fouled.
Looks like she's going to be able to go to the free throw line here.
Yeah, it looks like that she was going up for a shot.
Now, Armani Alexander is a pretty average free throw shooter. She shoots about 66% on the free throw stripe. And she misses the first one. So odds are she's going to make the second one. Let's hope she does. Oh, she
Tough
missed it.
break as that second free throw bounces in and out. So the Wildcats now back on offense. Passing the ball around from the top of
Chico
the arc.
State's trying to find that open three-point shot again.
Yes, the
they
Wildcats
seem to like that.
they
Great
seem to love shooting that.
Prime Stevens with a nice steal there. She has 35 steals now on the season, which is second on the team.
Prime Stevens, injury seems to not slow her down as she went up for a tough shot but being denied.
Every time we see Prime Stevens goes down, it's a little scary because we don't. Hopefully, she's not going to be a little hurt.
Here's the open shot for the Wildcats from three, and it's a miss.
Well, they got to get those offensive rebounds there, giving Chico State plenty of extra opportunities with those offensive rebounds.
Point guard Shea Stark passing the ball now. Wildcats looking for that layup, and it's fouled in the process.
2 shots for number 41, McKenna Barker for Chico State. Now, Kaylee Pugh has 2 personal fouls already.
So here we have 3 people being subbed in for Chico State. As one of them being Whitney Brainham. Chico State with the first free throw missing.
Missed the first free throw.
Here goes the second free throw for Chico State. Barker shoots and makes the second free throw.
1 for 2 at the stripes. The 3-point game. The Gators only down by 3, surprisingly, especially after the slow start they had. Another miss by Rachel Ioza. She's usually a pretty good shooter. She shoots about 80% on the season.
Wildcats now on offense.
Great
block
defense.
Shot right there.
Jada Prime again with a great defense.
Good block on that.
She says, no,
play.
this is my lane.
No. Chico State with a great inbounds and a score. Quick score on that inbounds play for the Wildcats.
Number 30, Kayla Taylor with the points there.
San Francisco State has yet to score coming back from first period. However, they have an open shooter and is denied.
Denied. But number 30, Kayla Taylor, puts it back into Prime's face.
Inbounding the ball is SF State. Prime Stevens passes it out to Monty Alexander for the 3, and it's a miss.
Out. Nice offensive rebound.
Prime Stevens with the rebound and a score, making
Great
the first
putback
points on the second period.
That's what San Francisco State's going to have to do to keep in this game, is get those second chance points. They've been giving enough second chance opportunities to Chico State, but if they can get some of their own, it'll be great for them. Travel. Ball goes back to the Gators.
With the turnover, giving back the ball to SF State as Amani Alexander is dribbling up the court. Amani Alexander looking for that open shooter. Passes the ball. Prime Stevens now. Shot from the baseline, SF State misses.
Still get the ball back.
However, Chico State, when going for the rebound, knocked the ball out of bounds. Possession stays with San Francisco.
There's 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Should be able to get a shot off here easily.
Definitely. SF State, with a bad pass.
They haven't had a turnover in a good amount of time, but that's the first one in this quarter. So they should be able to keep those down. They've been doing much better. Chico State's defense is still pretty strong, though.
Yes. So far, it's been a pretty well game played out as both teams keeping it close. 17 Chico, SF State 14.
Prime says, this is my lane again. You shall not come through. Great defense by Prime.
Open three, nope. Passes the ball. Open layup is being missed.
Another miss in the key. That is going to be a key to the game, is to be able to make those shots down there.
Wildcats with the quick offense.
Great
and
dish.
foul.
Number 21, Rachel Ioza. Gators have to keep these fouls down. They can't afford to have anyone foul out.
Free throws now being shot by Kayla Taylor, senior out of Concord. First one's good.
First bucket down.
Kayla Taylor looking to make it 2 for 2 on free throws. And it's good.
2 for 2 again for Kayla Taylor on the free throw line.
SF State now trailing by 5. They need to find some
6
offense
minutes left
here.
in this half. They trying to keep this score low as possible for them. Try not to get too
Chico
tired and
State
worn
with
out.
a good press defense. Trying to generate a turnover. However, hot fought. Prime time on the floor, looking for a timeout. And gets
Timeout,
the
SF
call.
State. Great timeout. Tough positioning there for Prime Stevens. She gets up a little bit slow, but she's going to be all right. And a much needed timeout for San Francisco State. Try to cut this deficit down. They're going to need a lot of help here.
Yes.
The Chico. So San Francisco State, it's going to be nice to have a timeout. They probably want to keep their timeouts later for the end of the game, but for what they have right now, timeouts are desperately needed for these girls because they have been running hard. They've been pushing hard. They've been trying as hard as they can to keep this game as close as possible.
Yeah, only trailing by 5 seems very doable if they could go on a quick run, just how they finished the first period. Great sounds from the band tonight.
It's nice to have an in-house band at a college game. It just feels right when you're at a college sporting event to have the band. Kind of gives a crowd a little pump up, hopefully. Get this crowd cheering for the home team at the Swamp and make it so it's difficult for Chico State to play.
All right, now timeout's up, and the players
There's
are
6
ready.
seconds left on the shot clock, and they're going to get the ball out on the baseline.
SF State looking for that quick shot off the inbound pass. Finds a shooter. Top of the key,
This
long
deep
range shot.
It's good.
And it's flush.
Rachel Ioza, deep three-point shot.
What a great call coming off the timeout. SF State now down by 2. The Wildcats looking for that open shooter, driving the ball. And the layup.
Another foul. San Francisco State, they got to keep those down. But Prime Stevens, that's only her first foul, though, so it's going to be all right. She can afford a couple more, but you want to keep them as low as possible, especially for the end of the game.
McKenna Barker with the free throws. First
And
one's a miss.
Miss.
Shooting her quick free throws quickly.
2-point game here. 3-point game
Making
now.
the second one.
After that free throw. Only a 1-possession game still with 5 minutes left in this period.
Here we have Prime Stevens, top of the key. Prime
San
Stevens
State's gonna
posting
lead
up,
the
getting
movement.
double team, almost
open-
triple team.
Open people on the perimeter, but she cannot see them. She's been double
Amani
teamed
Alexander
all.
passing the ball now. Here we go. Prime Stevens driving and oh no, was unsuccessful making the layup.
Great move to get to the basket, but again, just not getting in.
Chico State now playing more of a mixed game where at the beginning we're shooting just long range shots.
Great steal again.
Now driving the ball.
Stevens, adding to her steal total for the year. She now
Driving
has
the
30.
ball. SF State with the shot, and it's good.
Kayla Pugh with the bucket.
Wildcats now back on offense, up by 1. Wildcats.
Good defense in the key there.
SF State playing that 2-3 zone defense.
3 seconds in the key. She pitched a tent and camped in there. She got called for it though. Only a 1-point game. See if San Francisco State could take the first lead of the game for them.
Yes, they fought hard. I could see a lead coming. Rachel Iozia passes the ball to Prime Stevens. However, well defended by Chico State, trying to create a turnover. Amani for the 3.
Oh, in and
it's a
out.
miss.
That is a heartbreaker there.
That would have been the first lead for SF State if the 3-point was made. However, the Wildcats now trying to bounce back. Open shot 3, and it's a miss.
Another miss for Whitney Bram. She has not been on her 3-point game like she normally is. She usually shoots about 37% from that line, but she's not shooting quite that this game.
Prime Stevens now passing it. Prime Stevens driving and getting an open shot. However, it's a miss.
Nice dish, but again, another miss in the key.
Hopefully.
Charge. Haley Pugh, great job taking that charge. She set her feet. She was outside the circle, fell over. Great job taking one for the team. Get that ball back for San Francisco State and see if they can take that lead that they've been so desperately wanting here. So desperately needing as well.
You could see SF State girls starting to get tired.
They got hands on the hips. Let's see if they could keep up their stamina here.
Amani Alexander now with the ball. Passing it.
Turnover again.
Wildcats generating a turnover. And tough contested shot.
Hard foul. Number 22.
Amani
Alexander with the foul on Whitney Bram. Whitney Bram's going to go up to the free throw line. She's shooting a high team-leading 88% from that charity stripe, so we'll see if she can keep adding to that. It's a dangerous person to put on the line for Chico State.
Here at the Swamp, we got the Gators rumbling some noise, trying to create a miss.
Get a little distraction there. The referee's discussing something with the score table. 2 shots.
They were trying to see if that was a flagrant foul or not.
Mixed in the first one. Pretty routine for Whitney Brown.
And she makes the second one as well.
2 for 2. She's having a pretty good game here today. San Francisco State's going to need to keep her under wraps.
Monty Alexander passing her Prime Stevens. Here we go. Monty Alexander has been a really good shooter for the Gators in this game. She has knocked down some long distance shots. However,
he's a little off there.
Passing the ball to Rachel Iozia. And Iozia wasn't able to make that 3. Wildcats now with the quick offense. And the layup goes in and out.
Whitney Bram with the miss.
Yes.
Great defense by the Gators to be able to get back and force that miss down low, though.
And again, that's where only playing with 5 players, it's hard to go up on offense and come back on defense. I believe
they actually called that a foul on Whitney Bram with a shove there. That's her first personal foul.
Rachel Iozia with the pass. And inside
Hugh looks to the referee looking for that call. No whistle, though. She's going to have to run back on defense and play that defense.
Wildcats now on offense. Looking for that open shooter. And they find the open shooter at the bottom of the key and make it.
Shot by Madison Long off the board. She doesn't score too many points for Chico State, even though she plays around 30 minutes a game. She only scores about 7 points a game, but she is an assist monster. She averages 5
Whitney
assists.
Braham almost had a steal knocking the ball out of bounds. Rachel Ozia with the ball. Trying to find that open teammate. And does. And Prime Stevens, she drives the ball and gets the layup and one.
Travel by Prime Stevens.
So Prime Stevens pushed off.
You can see Erica Nielsen begging for the ball from Prime Stevens. She's been open almost every time out there on that perimeter. But Prime Stevens just looking for that basket. She's down there. She knows she can score down there, and she wants those buckets.
So here we are in the last 60 seconds of the second period.
5-point game. Chico State up 24-19.
Chico State with the three and misses.
Oh, over top of the backboard. That's going to be San Francisco State Gator ball.
Hopefully it could be deja vu for SF State as they finished really strong in the first half.
And in this last 45 seconds, see if they can finish strong, get back those 5 points that they're down by.
Rachel Iozia with the pass. Erica Nielsen trying to find that. Gets fouled in the process.
Foul number
looking for that
24,
open
Vanessa
shooter.
Holland. 14 fouls now for Chico. Trying to keep those fouls down so that they don't send San Francisco State to the free throw line here before that half ends.
Rachel Ozia passes it to Prime Stevens, who has the open shot and makes it.
Beautiful shot right at the elbow. The swish.
Bang! Wildcats now.
18 seconds left. Shot clock
They
has been
could
turned
burn
off.
down the clock now. Down to 12 seconds.
10 seconds.
Open. It's number 3 for the Wildcats. Shoots it, misses. Another offensive
Wow.
rebound for the Wildcats.
Prime Stevens with another foul.
The Gators need to block out better, preventing those offensive rebounds from occurring.
Another stat we want to keep an eye on is the fouls. Prime Stevens has 2 of them. Number 6, you get fouled out. Cannot play anymore.
Now we have Hannah Washington at the free throw, making their first free throw. Lead is now to 4 for the Wildcats. And Washington makes the second free throw. Creating that 5-point lead.
Oh.
And a quick steal for the Wildcats and a quick score.
Whitney Bram at the half, steals it, takes it down, scores a basket. 7-point game at halftime. That is not what San Francisco State needed there. That is a morale destroyer there.
They seemed to lose focus right towards the end of the period as they were running out of energy.
Yeah, they just did not. We're not ready for it. Whitney Bram. SF State is actually, we want to mention, doing a food drive. The Student Athlete Advisory Committee at SF State is hosting a food drive this week. Every school in the CCAA participates, and the challenge for this year's food drive is to see which school can get the most donations. The SF State Gators have donated bins currently placed in the gym, and all donations will benefit the SF Marin Food Bank. Please donate. Online donations can be made through the SF State Athletes website at www.sfstategators.com.
Yes, please go ahead and donate for a very good cause.
Very good cause, very good cause. We got a cool little halftime show here. Got a dance company in. So this game, Whitney Bram for Chico State has been leading all scorers with 9 points. She's played 17 minutes this game too. She's shooting only 33% and only 25% from the three-point line, but she's made every single free throw that she's gone up 2 for 2 on the free throw line. And you can tell she's the leader of this team. She's been taking this team by storm. She scored the basket at halftime. It was just a great way for them to end the half for Chico State, a terrible way to end the half for San Francisco State.
Yeah, I didn't like how we defended or finished our second half, as I was hoping to get some offensive spark leading into the second half. However, we got a steal and a turnover in the end.
With Whitney Bram, it's pretty amazing what she's able to do for this team with her birth defect of spinal bifida. She's been able to play through it, and when doctors say she's not going to be able to play, and it's really an inspiring story for her, leading the team 18 points per game. She's already halfway through to her average per points per game, which is amazing considering the fact that she has only been shooting 33%.
On the flip side, Prime Stevens has been the leading scorer for the Gators in this game.
Yes.
What do you have to say on that?
San Francisco State's leader right now is Johanna Stevens. She has 8 points. She also is only shooting 36% from the field goal lane. She hasn't shot any free throws yet, and that's going to be a key, is to be able to get her to the free throw line, draw some fouls, maybe get some foul trouble for Chico State, and get some of those girls to be able to sit down those leaders.
I feel like if she were to pass the ball a little bit more, she could find those open shooters, as at times when she's driving the ball in the key is getting double teamed and getting hard contested shots.
Yeah, Erica Nielsen's been pretty open in the corner all game. She's been waiting for it. Prime Stevens has been in the key double teamed most of the game, and she needs to be able to look out to the corner three, and hopefully they can get some of those in. I mean, Erica Nielsen is shooting pretty well this year. She's averaging 5 points per game, which is a little bit low, but she's been a solid player for the Gators.
Yes, and there's been a lot of offensive rebounds for the Wildcats. How do you see SF State stopping that?
Well, their forwards, Prime Stevens and Caleb Pugh, need to be able to box out a little bit better than they already are. San Francisco State is a smaller team with a lot of their forwards and centers out. They're playing with mostly guards. Erica Nielsen, Amanda Alexander, and Rachel Ioza are all listed as guards. Johanna Stevens and Caleb Pugh are both their forwards. So they don't have a lot of height. So what they're going to have to do to make up for that is play a little bit tougher and a little bit box out a little bit more.
Yes, for the most part of the game, to conserve energy as well. I've seen the Gators have been playing in the 2-3 zone defense, and it's worked pretty well so far, as they've held Chico State to only 29% shooting.
And that's a pretty low percentage for Chico State. And like I said, maybe it's because Chico State's not at home. They haven't been playing very well away. They're only 3-6 away, but they are 11-12 at home. So there's kind of a big difference between them. So maybe San Francisco State is able to jump out on them and use that home court advantage to their advantage.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Chico State has also had a lot of uncontested three-point shots. However, fortunate enough, they've only been held to 14%.
And 14% on three-point shots is just not very good for them. They need to, Chico State, if they want to win this game, they're going to have to start making their open shots. They've been able to get down low, draw some fouls, which is just not helpful for San Francisco State, because they're going to need to be able to keep foul trouble out.
Yes, and as I was mentioning, the Wildcats are out rebounding the Gators by 8 rebounds as a team collected.
And San Francisco State hasn't yet to take the lead all game, which they really, really would love to take lead in this quarter. Go into the fourth quarter leading the game against a team that has a full roster. They have 15 players. Well, on the other hand, San Francisco State, like I said, only has 5. And to be able to keep that lead and get that lead would be a huge morale boost, and probably give them a little bit more motivation and keep their energy down a little bit.
Yes, for the Gators, they've only had one lead in this game, which was the first bucket when they were leading 2-0, but have been trailing for the better most of the game, and only have come close with one tie from trailing from behind.
Defensive rebounds are pretty close this game. 14 to 17 in defensive rebounds. Chico State leading that. But the offensive rebounds are really the story for Chico State, but they just haven't been able to get those second chance points. Do you see them being able to get those second chance points later on?
And I think a lot of that has to do with the Wildcats defense, because they've been pressing on the players a lot and creating steals as well. That has turned into points for the Wildcats.
Yeah, there hasn't been many steals for the San Francisco State. They need to kind of get on that, but they've been blocked twice too. So Chico State's defense down low has been pretty strong. San Francisco State's missed a lot of shots down in the key, where they usually are pretty solid with their two forwards.
So hopefully the Gators could come out of the second half well rested, and they could prevent turnovers from occurring and create some quick offense.
We'll see how San Francisco State responds to this 7-point deficit in the second half. I'm excited to see what they're able to do.
Yeah. It's a great night out at the Swamp, as we've had a great crowd tonight.
We will see you when the second half comes back. I'm John Garman.
And I'm Jorge Iniguez.
We'll see you second half. 4.
All right, and we're back here at the Swamp. All right, and we're back here at the Swamp where the Gators are trailing by 7 against the Wildcats.
Wildcats head coach Brian Vogel has been coaching the Chico State for 10 years now. He has a 149 and 106 record, so he's well above 500. He's been a great coach for Chico State for 10 years, and it's been really cool to see what they've been able to do with a head coach for 10 years. He's had a nice long journey. He went to, graduated from Sonoma State, was able to come back to Chico State and be able to be a head coach for them.
And on the flip side, we have Christina Danella, first-year head coach for the SF State Gators. And she, before joining SF State, she had a great track record of 83 wins and 36 losses as a collegiate coach. And she's done a great job in this game, having limited resources, only having 5 players currently on the active roster.
And she's already been able to exceed her total from last year for the wins for San Francisco State, but she only has 5 players today, and she's still been able to do better than last year.
Yes, indeed.
Let's get back to the action here in the Swamp.
The refs and the players are ready to start the third period here in the second half. SF State gets the first possession here, where Amani's dribbling, passing the ball to Prime Stevens. Back and forth game between Amani Alexander and Prime Stevens. Prime Stevens looking for that open shooter. However, Wildcats with strong defense.
And one,
it's
count
not
the
enough.
bucket. Let's go to the strike.
Great play by Khalid Pugh as she has hit a contested layup, was fouled in the process.
Kaylee Pugh is not a good free throw shooter, though. Let's hope that she's able to hit this three-point play.
Yes, as the Gators are hoping to end.
There she goes, ending that nice little free throw drive.
Making that three-point play. Just what the Gators needed to start off the third period.
4-point game now.
Let's see if the defense can hold up against the Wildcats. Wildcats looking for that open shooter. Hopefully driving the ball. The Wildcats misses that layup.
Great rebound by Prime again. She's been absolutely a monster on those boards.
Wildcats are playing full press defense. Not giving an inch to the Lady Gators. And we have a miss. Now the Wildcats trying to find some offense here in the third period. Finding the open shooter for 3, however, in and out.
That's a heartbreaker there. She was absolutely robbed.
Amani Alexander now dribbling the ball, driving it now towards the top of the, finding the open 3, and it's missed. Now the Wildcats with the defensive rebound, trying to find a quick offensive score. And they find the open shooter with the layup.
Easy layup. Easy layup for Chico State.
Playing with only 5 players, SF State is having a hard time getting back on defense following a missed shot. Now the Gators with the ball, trying to find the open shooter. However, Wildcats defense is playing really well. And
Great
Prime
look down
Stevens
low.
was able to find some
Stevens
offensive.
getting into double digits now with her points. She has 10 on the game.
Pretty even starting off the third period, where the Wildcats have only a 4-point lead.
Forcing that turnover there for Chico State. Great job by San Francisco State. Good defense.
First turnover for the Wildcats in the second half. SF State has yet to turn the ball over, and they're playing really well. Just what was expected. And the drive by Amani Alexander, finding that.
Great use of the board there. She didn't have much room. She was able to throw it up right off that corner of that paint and get it in.
Wildcats baseline shot, and it's missed.
Get a
However,
ball.
Wildcats were trying to get that offensive rebound and was unsuccessful turning the ball over. Amani Alexander inbounding the ball. Now dribbling it up the court. Prime Stevens trying to find that open teammate, hoping to tie up the game. Amani Alexander is committed to shooting that three or past the ball. Prime Stevens driving the ball, splitting between two defenders and getting that foul call.
She is going to the line. She's actually a really good free throw shooter too. She's shooting 71% from the charity stripe, and see if she can keep that going. She's also trying to go for another double-double. She's been really good with the double-doubles. She has, in the last 6 games, she has 5 double-doubles. She just recently lost her streak of 5 games in a row with a double-double. She already has 10 points. She's just looking for 4 more rebounds to be able to get into that double-double range and get another streak going, hopefully.
Definitely. So the Gators are up to 23 minutes collectively as a team.
Game is now tied 30-30. Great job opening up this half by the Gators and be able to come back from that deficit.
Having the second tie of the game now for both teams.
Great rebound.
Wildcats missing, creating an opportunity for SF State Gators, trying to get that lead. The last lead they had was in the first shot of the game when they were leading.
Great
2-0.
drive. They take the lead. They are up by 2 points. First lead since the first basket.
Shot. However, the Wildcats
they did not get back on defense. Easy
shut
bucket.
down that lead as they tied up the game.
Easy bucket for Chico State.
32 all as the Gators have the ball. Christina Danella, head coach for the Gators, calling out the play. However, Chico State with the double.
There's got to be someone open.
Rachel Iozia, lucky enough not to turn the ball over when passing it. Inbounding the ball now. Gators, 10 seconds on the shot clock, having a really hard time trying to create some offense. There's a tough shot.
You're going to call a charge. That's a foul on Kaylee Pugh. She is not happy about that call. She has a look of disgust on her face. She comes back down the court.
That did not seem like a charge at all, but what can you do?
She shakes her head down the court. She is not happy with the referee's decision on that one.
Wildcats now feeling some pressure, having a tie game. Having a really hard time trying to get some offense here for the Wildcats. As SF State has played great defense and they get the ball out. However, Wildcats quickly recover and find an open three and make it.
Number 24, Nesta Holland.
Wildcats now with a 3-point lead. However, the Gators with the ball. Rachel Iozia looking for that shooter as she finds open player at top of key, but getting the ball back eventually is Rachel Iozia. And she passes the ball to Prime Stevens. Dangerous shot. However, Prime Stevens lays the ball up and
great use of the board. She's asking for a foul. She thinks she got hit on the arm, but she's going to have to complain another time because she's got to get back on defense. Chico State is really pushing.
Gators are doing a really well job getting back on defense now.
Kick, we're going to reset the shot clock. Official timeout. Get a little break for the Gators. Nice little breather, hopefully. We'll see if they could catch their breath again.
Yes, Gators could. I'm sure they appreciate every official timeout they can get.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
As a collective team, they're all playing 25 minutes as they have no options.
Subs. They're going to have to all play 40 minutes here in this game. All for 40 minutes. That's going to be just, I couldn't imagine the intensity that's going through them and then intensity of the practice, be able to be in condition to play 40 minutes in a game. No subs, just a few timeouts, and I'm sure they're just, every time there's a timeout, they're just extremely grateful.
So now for the SF State Gators, we have 2 players in double figures.
Yeah, Kaylee Pugh and Prime Stevens are both over the 10-point mark and able to get into those double figures. We'll see if anybody else can join them. They're going to need some help.
Amani Alexander's not far from behind, as she's had a very well-played game.
And she's got 7 points. She just needs one more three-pointer to get into that double-digit mark. But if you look at Nielsen, she has 0 points for the game. Gators are going to need her to step up if they're going to want to win this game. It's going to take a whole team effort to beat Chico State.
And Erica Nielsen needs to find a bucket as she has not scored in this game.
well-rested San Francisco State after that timeout, coming back on the court.
Hoping to keep that strong defense going. Well defended as SF State as they are shuffling around. Open shot for the Wildcats from long range and it's good.
Number 4, Madison Wong. She's just great shot, a little bit deep. She's channeling your inner Steph Curry there.
So Monty Alexander now with the possession is being double teamed. They got to be careful. Wildcats creating a turnover. Lucky enough, Prime Stevens was able to get the ball back.
They're going to have to call a timeout here so there's no jump ball. And to waste another timeout.
Has to burn a timeout.
Coach there calling the timeout, Christina Daniela, realizing that her team desperately needed one there after both players fall on the ground. Didn't have much of an option.
And this is a full timeout.
And nice long break. Tell you a little bit about some stats on the Chico State side. Bram now has 9 points. She's only gotten 3 more points since the break. Or she hasn't gotten any points since the break, actually. They're going to need her to step up. I mean, it is only a 4-point game, so they've been able to keep the Gators at distance for a good amount of time. The Gators took the lead for a little bit, but they were able to push them back. And see if Whitney Bram can be able to keep Chico State ahead.
Offensive-wise for Chico State, it's been very balanced by all their players as they're all around that 6-point range.
Yeah, almost every player that's come in has scored either 5 or 6 points, so it's been really great balance by them. They haven't had anybody really take over the game. I mean, obviously Whitney Bram has been the standout for them, but nobody else has really stood out, and they've been keeping it very balanced. The bench has been able to come in and score some points while the starters are on the bench.
Yeah, for Chico State, they're doing phenomenal from the free throw as a team collectively. They're 8 for 10 at 80%.
They're shooting great, and San Francisco needs to keep them off the line. They can't afford to, 1, have fouls, and 2, give them free points. There's no way they can keep in this game if they're giving Chico State free buckets. They give them enough open shots. They don't need any charity stripe shots.
SF State now with possession of the ball. 26 seconds on the shot clock, so they do not need to rush on offense. Amani Alexander, possession of the ball, dribbling around. No teammates are running around as she's having a hard time looking for a shooter. Now the Gators finally shuffling around. However, making a pass, get a turnover. The Wildcats with a quick offense as they are aware that
defense again by Prime. Another block there. She is defending that key extremely well. She's only had a couple of open buckets down there that she didn't quite see, but she's been defending that key excellently.
Inbound passes.
Goes through everyone, doesn't touch anyone, and it's Gators' ball.
Seems like nobody wanted the ball out of the inbound pass.
A couple of hands reached up for it, but just went right over top. Lucky for the Gators.
Yes. Hopefully now we could get a shot going, as they have had a tough time generating offense. A lot of the players are being gassed out. However, Prime Stevens takes matters into their own hands
charge
and scores.
They called the charge on her again.
No.
Great take by Chico State. Unfortunate for San Francisco State. Prime Stevens comes back after that tough drive. Great defense by Chico State to draw the charge, though.
What a tough call right there. As Prime Stevens.
There's been a couple of those charges that San Francisco State wishes they had back.
Wildcat now with the open 3.
Deep
and it's good.
Whitney Bram. That was a deep 3-pointer. Her personal hero is Stephen Curry, so she channeled a little bit of that in that shot there.
Definitely. That was far contested 3.
Foul by Madison Wong on the ball. A couple of subs coming in here for Chico
So
State.
Gators, after tying the game and getting a short lead, are now trailing again by 7 points.
7 points is a pretty big deficit, especially since they were up not too long ago, it feels like. They haven't been able to score here recently. A couple of turnovers and getting some charges.
So the Gators are trying to find that open shooter, but the Wildcats playing beautiful defense. Prime Stevens was able to drive the ball and gets fouled in the process.
That is not a foul on her this time. That is a foul for her. She's going to the free throw line, where she is a good free throw shooter again. She's shooting 71%. She has 16 points now on the game, leading all scorers on both sides.
And this is her second time trying to get that three-point play. And she makes the free throw.
Another 2-point play by Prime Stevens.
Beautiful. Her outstanding play has kept the Gators in this game and are now trailing by 5. I take that back. They're trailing by 4 points. Wildcats now.
Just under 3 minutes left in this quarter.
Trying to create a run going on offense. Driving the ball and making it.
Great pump fake and drive there by the Chico State Wildcats. Put another bucket up, bring the lead back up for them. 6-point game now with 2.5 minutes left.
Alexander now driving the ball and it makes, nope, misses the easy layup.
She is angry at herself. She pounds her fist into her hand. She runs
Chico
back on
State
defense.
With a quick offense, trying to create a shot and they make it. Nice contested baseline shot made.
Great job by Kayla Turner there with that turnaround jumper.
Lady Gators
unsuccessful
in the pass, turning the ball over. Easy layup for the Wildcats.
Easy layup. Too easy. It's hard for San Francisco to get back on that, but they just need to calm down. Their coach is telling them, breathe, relax, take it easy. They don't need to push it so hard.
Gators
That's
now
when turnovers happen.
trailing by 10. However, Amani Alexander
Great
with
shot.
a quick offense.
Such a good swish. She messes up the net.
Trying to keep the game close, leading into the fourth quarter.
Marty Alexander
are the
now.
Gators, where Wildcats leading 47-39.
Marty Alexander now with 9 points on the game. She's getting close to that double-digit mark too.
Wildcats now trying to find that open shooter. Pass.
3 seconds in the key.
Another
Gator
turnover
ball.
by the Wildcats.
That's number 32, Joe Payne, getting another 3 second in the key.
Lucky break for the Gators. Hopefully now they could create some offense from that turnover and cutting back on that lead for the Wildcats. Gators now shuffling around. However, for the most of the game, the Gators have been double teamed when trying to drive into the key.
Nice step back, just missed the three-pointer on that one though. Great move by Omani Alexander.
Wow, nice drive for Chico, but they were not able to make that shot. Prime Stevens looked hurt when receiving that ball, as she jumped high and landed awkwardly. Rachel trying to find her an open teammate.
20 seconds left in the quarter. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Gators going to have to do something here.
Very good shooter from long distance.
Monty Alexander with another tough one. Nobody getting back on defense, but a good thing they have a little bit of defense in the front court.
They can end the third period now. 4 seconds on the clock. Find the open shooter, and it's good for the Wildcats.
Right before the buzzer.
As the half is over, and the Gators
Chico State was able to score just before the buzzer again. Another heartbreaker for San Francisco State. They have got to try to keep those buzzer beaters down. That's really destroying them. 10-point game now. Chico State is up, and that's going to be a tough one for San Francisco State to come back from.
So here we are in break, and our band is yet again sounding very great. Trying to keep the crowd in the game. I think that's another key in the game. Whenever the crowd has been loud, as the Gators have been able to take that energy and been able to score some quick offensive points.
And Kaylee Taylor now for Chico State is actually over that 10-point mark. She has 12 points now as well. Kayla Taylor now has 12 points for Chico State. She's one of the team leaders for that team. She's been shooting really well. She's shooting extremely well with the 12 points. She's shooting 50% from the field, 5 of 10 on the field goal. She's played 24 minutes, so she's played a lot of minutes for Chico State when they have plenty of reserves.
Yes, the forwards for Chico State have been playing very well, which is a reason why SF State Gators are trailing, since they are not able to block the forwards as much and are very limited with forwards in their roster.
Whitney Brand was able to get 5 points in that quarter. to get her up to 14 points for the game. She's still leading her team in that aspect.
And Erica Nielsen has yet to score in this game. Hopefully in this fourth quarter, some points will be able to be made.
Another foul by Prime Stevens. She's got to try to keep those fouls down. She's got a couple in the last quarter.
Whitney Branham has seemed
That's her
to
fourth
woken
personal.
as she's played very aggressive now in here in the second half.
That's her fourth personal foul. 2 more and she won't be able to play anymore.
Nice turnover by the Gators. Imani finds the open shooter, and the layup is good for the Gators.
Great passing there. Great way to use that fast break drill that they always do. Rachel Ioza there, 2 more points.
Chico State leading 49-41 here at the Swamp. Another turnover by the Wildcats. That is 2 consecutive turnovers now.
Foul on Madison Wong there. She looks a little perplexed and she doesn't know why that was a foul on her, but she's going to come back, play defense. San Francisco State's going to try to take advantage of that. Another turnover, hopefully they get 2 buckets in a row, whittle down at this lead.
Prime Stevens trying to get some offense. And Amani Alexander with the ball. Looking for that open teammate. However,
10
a
seconds
lot of
left
the
on the
players
shot
seem
clock.
gassed. So Amani Alexander is creating her own offense and unsuccessful with the layup.
Great rebound by Prime Stevens there.
Prime Stevens is getting close to her double-double.
She has 7 rebounds now, 2 of them offensive.
Amani Alexander with a dangerous pass across the court.
Deep three-pointer
And
just
it's
off the back of
missed.
the rim.
Rachel
Unfortunately,
Iozia with the deep three-pointer. Wildcats with the ball. Taking their time as they have pretty decent.
Another turnover, fast break.
Rachel Iozia with the open layup and good.
2 points, Rachel Ioza, another fast break layup for her. Easy buckets. Glad they didn't miss those down low. They have to make those and have to get those steals. They're going to keep up in this game.
So now San Francisco State Gators are trailing by 6 points, where the Wildcats are leading in this one, 49-43.
8 minutes left to go in the final quarter.
Wildcats seem to take a longer time now whenever they have the ball. Deep three.
Another deep 3. Buckets for Whitney Bram. That is a deep 3. Channeling your inner Steph Curry. That was from almost half court.
We're going to need to start calling her Whitney Curry.
Whitney Curry.
Gators now trying to bounce back as they created a 4-0 run. However,
Foul on the ground, no shot.
Winnie Graham, when knocking down that 3, expanded the lead to 9 now. Wildcats lucky enough to have subs. Have 2 players subbed in and out.
Whitney Bram still playing in the game. She's been playing a good amount of minutes
Gators
in the
with the
second
inbound
half,
pass.
which is helping the Cougars keep the lead. The Wildcats keep the lead.
Amani Alexander now getting the ball. 23 seconds in the shot clock. Plenty of time.
Foul on the ground again. Number 32 for Cougars, Joe Payne with the foul.
Wildcats have been playing pretty scrappy here in the fourth period as they have fouled and turned the ball over. Gators need to create some offense off those mistakes. Missing an open jump shot by Prime Stevens. Trying to get back on defense. Unsuccessful as the Wildcats were able to make a layup easy.
Great take by Madison Wong there. She's able to get up and under the defender and lay it in for 2 more points.
At this time of the game, Wildcats are well aware of every Gators miss. They could create some easy, quick offense when to get the rebound.
Hugh goes down hard. She looks a little banged up. Hopefully it's not too serious. They cannot afford to lose a player. There's no subs for San Francisco State. If they lose someone, they're done. She's going to go to the line for 2, which gives her a little break from that injury. So she's banged up a little bit. It'll give her a little break shooting free throws.
Two free throws being shot by Calais Pugh. Forward freshman. Misses the first one.
Kaylee Pugh does not shoot well on free throws. She's under 500 for the season. She needs to try to turn that around here. There it is.
With the high arc, successful in the second shot. Now the Wildcats with the offense, leading by 10 points.
Kaylee Pugh now with 11 points on the game.
Driving the ball, Wildcats, they get the easy layup.
Great dish there. And bucket, number 41 for Chico State, Kenna Barker.
Gators being double teamed again. Open shot, Prime Stevens, top of the key, unsuccessful.
Off the front of the rim, heartbreaker there.
Now they need, oh, nice
Great
steal
steal.
by Prime Stevens. Getting back on defense.
She intercepted that like a defensive back there in football.
Yes.
Able to judge the ball where it's going and jump and intercept it before it gets to the offensive player.
Amani Alexander now dribbling the ball. They need to find some quick offense for the Gators because as time is running out, and with Chico with a 12-point lead now, it's going to be very hard to come back.
Alexander there with the miss. She's been dribbling a lot. There hasn't been much movement with the ball for San Francisco State. I think they need to get a little bit more movement going with the ball.
Wildcats with another easy layup. Luckily enough, it was not made.
Rolls off the rim for McKenna Barker. She misses that shot inside.
Prime Stevens driving the ball, and nope, gets her own rebound.
Shot gets her own rebound. That was
passes
awesome.
it to Amani Alexander for the open three. No.
Amani Alexander with another
And the
missed
Wildcats quickly trying to create some offense, however, unsuccessful, turning the ball over.
Amani Alexander now is 1 for 5 on three-point shots. She's usually a better three-point shooter, but today she just has not been there with her three-point shooting. Unfortunately, same with all of San Francisco State. They've only made 1 on the game, or 2 on the game, and they shot 11 times from the three-point line.
Gators are gassed. However, making that lazy pass is Amani Alexander's and turning the ball over and creating an easy layup for the Wildcats.
Madison Wong with another bucket.
Amani Alexander needs to be careful with the ball. And the perfect time to call a timeout is Christina Danella.
Gators need timeout. They look winded right now, and no one can blame them for being so winded. There's only 5 of them. They don't have a sub. They have been playing the whole game.
Yes. I'm very proud of how the Gators have played so far. As they fought hard, they've got a lead, and unfortunately wasn't able to maintain it since they are very, very tired.
Yeah, this fourth quarter has not been kind to them. It's now a 14-point game in favor of Chico State. And that's just rough to be able to have to
the Wildcats, they have a 14-point lead. Currently in the game, it's 54 Chico State Wildcats, and San Francisco State have 44.
Some keys that I think San Francisco State needs to do to be able to get back in this game, they have to limit the turnovers. They've been turning the ball over a lot, giving Chico State easy buckets on the other side, nice easy layups to be able to do that. And it's just destroying them because San Francisco State has to run back so hard. They're wasting all their energy running back after these turnovers, not being able to get stop the buckets.
So we had a quick playback on that last turnover for the Gators.
But Chico State's going to keep looking to press the Gators, keep them tired, keep them gassed and exhausted, knowing that they don't have any subs. And it's working right now because they're playing stifling defense and not being able to, San Francisco State's not able to get any buckets right now.
Well, with 4 minutes and 52 seconds left in the game, Gators down by 14. Let's see if the Gators can finish strong. Monty Alexander finding the open three-point shooter, and it's good for the Gators.
Rachel Ioza with a three-pointer.
Great call coming out of that timeout.
Rachel Ioza now with 10 points with her second three-pointer in the game. She's shooting 40% from
Wildcats finding an open shooter in there, and unsuccessful with the three is the Wildcats.
Long rebound there for number 14, Erica
Gators
Nelson.
now trying to find that open shooter on the quick offense. Prime Stevens makes the nice jumper.
Nice jumper by Prime Stevens with the with a defender in the face. She now
Cutting
has
the lead
19
now
points.
to single digits as the Gators. Playing well on defense is key. Wildcats trying to find that open shot and creating a turnover. Great defense by the Gators.
Another great defensive job by the Gators.
Gators now cut the lead now to single digits and are on a run offensively. Trying to keep that ball rolling. Open shot, and it's missed. Rachel Iozia with a miss. However, SF State is having an easier time finding open shots. Wildcats now with a shot from 3.
Another one by Whitney Brown. She is on fire right now. She is lighting up the Gators here in the Swamp. She has 20 points now. She is 4-7 on the three-pointer line.
Gators trying to counter that last three-pointer. Rachel Iozia with the shot.
It almost looked like she wanted to pass that there. She got a little confused as she went up.
And it looked like a teardrop. And the shot for the Wildcats.
Great defense by Kaylee Pugh. She was able to stop that drive, stand strong, and make her go around and forcing the miss.
So Chico State Wildcats leading in this one 61-49 against San Francisco State. Gators with the ball, unable to create some offense as the Wildcats double team has been working very well. Whitney Branham with the steal on that last play.
Wildcats. Whitney Branham has been on fire here in this second half. She is absolutely killing it. She has 20 points now in the game. She's been shooting 4-7 on three-pointers. She's 7-13 on field goals, shooting 53%. Absolutely, 35 minutes too. She's been playing a lot of minutes, higher than her average. She usually only plays about 33.5 minutes per game, but she's already at 35, trying to keep the Gators from catching up. She's been doing a good job of that.
Since being sub back in the game, she has been the difference maker. She has carried the Chico State Wildcats.
She's playing great defense as well. She has 4 steals on the game as well. That's just another added element that she brings to the game. And just another thing that the Gators have to look out for is her stifling defense and her intensity.
Yeah, for the Gators, they have not had that star player in this game, as there was some promise in the first half with Prime Stevens and Amani Alexander, but they cannot continue that going.
They haven't been able to get those shots down low. Kaylee Pugh and Prime Stevens, they started off strong, but they haven't been able to keep that momentum going.
So out of the timeout, the Wildcats get the ball, shoot it, and it's missed. Gators now with the ball.
Good defense from behind from Amani Alexander.
So Amani Alexander, possession of the ball. Exactly 2 minutes left in this game. Gators need to find a quick shot if they want to come back.
Move around a little bit, set some screens, get some people open. There's not a whole lot of movement for them right now.
Gators need to find a quick shot if they want to stay in this game. But turning the ball over. Wildcats now, knowing that they have a strong lead, are looking to kill the clock.
They're going to try to milk the clock here with only a minute and a half left. They're just trying to make it so San Francisco State has no chance of a comeback at all.
Wildcats driving the ball through the entire defense.
Number 30, Taylor, that was a great play. She was able to get underneath the defender's hands and lay it in off the backboard, putting the Wildcats up by even more. 49-63 now for Chico State.
That was a great 1-2 step, shaking all 5 defenders in that play.
I don't know if the Gators have it in and to come back. If they have enough time, it's only a minute and 17 left, and they're down by a good amount of points. It would take an absolute miracle for them to even come close on this one.
Yeah, it was a very hard-fought game for the Gators, as it seemed like they could maybe pull off a win in the third period, but after getting that lead, it seemed like they took all their energy just to get that lead, and
very valiant
I've been
effort
completely
by San
gassed for
Francisco
the rest
State.
of the game.
San Francisco State played extremely well, though, for only having 5 players, no subs, playing all 40 minutes for them. Prime Stevens has 19 points. Kaylee Pugh has 11, and Ioza has 10. Alexander with 9, but Nielsen 0 points on the game. That's a tough one pill to swallow, especially when you need it. When you only have 5 players playing, you need everybody to score some points. And 0 points for her. She didn't do a whole lot. She didn't have any turnovers, but she didn't produce much on offense.
All right, coming back from break. Gators get the ball. 1 minute and 15 seconds left in the game. Gators 49 and the Wildcats 63. Where the Gators are trailing currently by 14, turning the ball over.
For the Gators. With only a minute and 2 seconds left exactly.
Gators have seemed to lose focus in this game.
Now, Prime Stevens did reach her double-double today this game. She has 10 rebounds and 19 points, so she's going to try to keep another streak going for the season. Even though they might lose this one here and drop to 6 losses in a row, she was able to put up another double-double for the game.
Wildcats passing the ball around. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Wildcats with a tough contested shot miss. Another tough contested shot. And traveling the ball is the Wildcats.
Good job by Prime Stevens on the defense there. Even though there's not much time left, she's still fighting hard. Gators are still have a lot of heart in this game.
Ioza having a tough time dribbling the ball.
Chico State's got a lot of fresh legs out there. You can see it.
Erica Nielsen with the open shot, unsuccessful.
Trying to get her first bucket. Shot clock has been turned off. 15 seconds left in the game. This one's going to go down as a loss for San Francisco State and the Gators.
Make sure to tune in for the men's basketball coming up next following the women's game.
A couple of the stars of the game that we want to talk about. For Chico State, we want to talk about Whitney Bram. Whitney Bram absolutely had a great game. 20 points. She shot 4 of 7 from the three-point line. She started off a little slow on the three-point line, missing most of her first 4 shots. It was 1 of 4 to start the game, but she ended up 4 of 7. Just a great showing by her, playing 37 minutes. She was only out for 3 minutes of the game, which was a great job by her.
Yeah, she definitely was the difference maker. 3-point range, she shot 57%.
And she shot a couple from deep range too, which was really impressive to be able to see Whitney Bram do that. And it was really great to see her be able to do that with everything that she's gone through in life.
Yes, and for the season, she's an 86% free throw shooter.
Yeah, she showed that again today, shooting 100% from the free throw line. She only shot 2, but she was able to get there a couple of times. For San Francisco State, we want to talk about Prime Stevens. She had a great game, hitting a double-double again. She had 10 rebounds, 19 points. A great game for her, another double-double, but unfortunately just not enough for the whole team.
Yes, so for the Gators, turnovers was also a difference maker as they weren't able to protect the ball much.
18 turnovers total for the Gators. That's not a recipe for success in basketball to have 18 turnovers. There's 18 more chances for the other team to get points, and you can't win that way. Turning the ball over, especially since all the offensive rebounds that Chico State had. They had 9 offensive rebounds in the game, which was just brutal to get those extra second chance points. Well, we thank you very much for joining us today. San Francisco State versus Chico State, 63-49 in favor of the Wildcats. I'm John Garman.
And I'm Jorge Iniguez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Join us for the men's game. We're going to have some great game with Chico State and San Francisco State going at it again. And we're going to excited to see you. Until next time.
Go Gators.